Watch the real-life program about exceptional destinies, remarkable opportunities, and unbelievable facts right now. It is an ordinary morning of an extraordinary person. In freezing weather, he stopped wearing a blazer and later didn't even put on a vest. Climbing a mountain which you could see in the distance and returning back barefoot make only half of his training route. A standard distance the record holder covers at least 7 kilometers daily. Surprise is the starting point for thinking, while comparison is the one for analysis. We compare and get surprised. What do Shaolin monks and the modest Kazakh pensioner Ivan Ivanovich have in common? What links the 75-year-old Kazakh man, Special Forces and the Guinness Book of Records? And what does levitation have to do with it? You feel younger, live longer, and your quality of life improves noticeably. It is known from personal experience since sanitarians like Greek physicians, hypocrites, and the British Prime Minister Winston Churchill could say the same. Centenarian actor Vladimir Zeldin also said the most important is to live life to the full. He managed to do it as still sings and dances in 4 plays. I do not have a lot of free time. It is true especially when you dedicate all of your free time to self-improvement. He is only 75, it is easy for him to do fingertip push-ups. He can remain in this posture for many hours and do the splits. He set a few world records. According to him, the human abilities are endless. It is said that there is not a wide, high road leading to science. Only the person who climbs over the rocks, paying no attention to tiredness, can reach the shining peaks. Scientists proved that pessimists considered themselves old and ill, and the degree of risk of dying from old age was 13% higher among them. He was a resident of an orphanage situated near Moscow and could not find out either where he had been born or who his parents were. It did not take the orphanage employees long to choose a name for the little Asian boy. Uncle Vanya was a stoker, Uncle Kuzma was a janitor, and Uncle Vasya was a watchman. At that time, if a child was found, or Naden in Russian, he was given the surname of Nadinov. If a raven, which is Voron in Russian, landed when a child was brought, the surname was Voronov. There were a lot of different surnames. I was given the surname Ivanov. Thus, I was called Ivan Ivanovich Ivanov. People started calling him Janata. When Ivan Ivanovich, former KGB officer, retired, it is impossible for an active person to put up with the forced idleness. Then he decided to become nothing less than a record holder, and he achieved this aim. Janata set his first record in 1992, when he did 4,444 knee bends. In 2014, he made another amazing achievement. He did 9,000 wooden bar presses. Moreover, nails were hammered into that bar too. The audience even left a few times and other people came instead because it was too difficult to sit in a cold hall for 4.5 hours. However, it wasn't a problem for the 74-year-old pensioner. He lifted the weight more than 9,000 times over 4 hours, which was a unique achievement. On behalf of the International Record Holder Club, I am authorized to
авторитетной комиссии. От имени Международного клуба рекордсменов я уполномочен.
He received the medal from acrobat Vladimir Gashuta, a multiple record breaker listed in the Guinness Book of Records. This achievement was recorded in Kazakhstan's version of the Guinness Book of Records. The sportsman does not conceal that he learned the secret of remarkable endurance from the Shaolin monks. Running 118 meters on water is a world record. A Chinese monk from Shaolin ran over a bridge made of floating wood pizzas, the width of which was only 1 centimeter. When a stone was thrown on the bridge, a piece of wood sank. The monk explained that you just had to run fast. Shaolin is legendary. In the early 70s, the new KGB leadership aimed at improving martial arts skills of the Special Force operatives. It was decided to send them to the Chinese monks to study. The selection criteria was very strict. 3 monks arrived. They included a teacher and 2 monks. Who were the pupils? They selected only 3 people. Janata was among the 3 people who went to Shaolin. They did sports and military trainings, gained secret knowledge and acquired exceptional abilities. For example, they were flying Shaolin monks. Janata says he saw them himself. Monks convinced themselves to a great extent. They concentrated, cleansed their bodies and souls. They became free from Earth's gravity and rose 50 to 60 centimeters above the ground. Levitation is a movement of people and objects without visible support or other actions, which can be explained. Science cannot explain it, while monks say that they do not fly themselves, but can move objects too. In 1937, Swedish Dr. Joly recorded that monks made a huge stone block levitate in Tibet. The flight path was approximately 500 meters long. Although the Soviet officers who studied in the monastery were considered guests, leniency was not shown to them. They woke up early, meditated, developed subconsciousness, and underwent lengthy and tough training of body and soul. It lasted for 5 years. There wasn't only mental exercises. In the literal meaning, there was contact fighting too. It depends on your abilities, whether you can manage it or not, endure it or not. They mainly sparred, tested their reaction skills, endurance, defensive capability, the ability to protect and give blows. They had their own methods for doing these. Their own methods did not include only blow delivery training. They trained extraordinary abilities of a person in a current incarnation and even believed in themselves. People still disagree on whether it was stage footage or real. It shows Kardishnikov's non-combat style. Watch it closely. In a moment, the instructor will perform a hand pass and its hypothetical aggressor will fall as if it received a real blow. Janata says that he can use this technique too. Anyway, they can do much more in Shaolin. A knife is thrown at you at the distance of 1.5 to 2 meters. The knife falls back and doesn't wound you. We were shocked. When I saw it for the first time, I was really shocked. However, those people were trained. Centration of internal energy helps them to light a piece of paper. According to him, when he returned from Tibet, he was a completely different person. He says that once in Africa, he, a commander of a special force unit, had to spend 5 days without food and water in the Sahara Desert, the hottest desert in the world. An ordinary unprepared person without water dies in 2 days. In a hot place, this period of time reduces to 10 hours. Escaping sandstorms, he had to burrow into sand to survive. He spent 8 long hours in voluntary confinement. He couldn't breathe properly through a tube leading to the surface. The Special Force Commander had set an example for those who were under his command. If a commander can do it, they have to be able to do the same. Follow my lead. It was the most effective principle a commander stuck to when training them. This footage is from the Soviet KGB film Special Forces Training. Anyway, it was the only model training. Of course, there is no real operation footage. The majority of information remains marked as top secret. Ivan Ivanovich went through a lot of hardships, but he did not reveal military secrets or deployments. He only mentions that he once lay in ambush for 2 days, not getting a wink of sleep and not daring to move. If you develop the willpower, it will become a habit for you. A habit is a stereotypical action which a person takes automatically in extreme conditions. He doesn't wait for extreme conditions but creates them himself. In 2014, Jonata did 5,105 knee bends over 3 hours and 3 minutes. In January 2015, he set another record doing 5-kilogram iron crowbar bench presses 11,111 times. It took the sportsman 5 hours. As he ages, he beats more records. Dear friends, dear audience, we are witnessing a phenomenal sporting achievement. According to scientific research, a human body is programmed to last 110 years, which should be an average lifespan. According to physiologists, if a most famous sportsman summon the willpower, they can expend 70% of their muscle energy, but their body preserves the remaining 30%, which is necessary in case of an emergency. Only 15% of this energy is available to a person who doesn't do training. Jonata tries to master using 100%. It means that he will set more records. Moreover, there are a lot of like-minded people in the world. Japanese Yukira Miura ascended Mount Everest at the age of 80. A 95-year-old Briton, Charles Yuxton, ran 200-meter distance and set a world record. American Dorothy Hirsch visited the North Pole when she was 89. Japanese Minoru Sato made his 8th round-the-trip world journey at the age of 77. 84-year-old Dagestani Abdulrahman Abdulazizov lifted dumbbells weighing 81.5 kilograms with his hair. It is possible that another extraordinary record will be included in this list. Jonata intends to ascend the stairs leading to Medeo Mountains, walking on his hands. He has already developed a special training method. However, he will keep it secret until he achieves his first result. I don't need these records to show off, demonstrate my self-assertion, or be praised. I already have asserted myself in this world and this life. I want these records to help me set an example for the young generation. Jonata wants the young generation to know that a person is capable of anything. The most important thing is having good intentions.